Hey folks, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Tonight, we're going to do something new for you. We're going to go visit our friends at Deschutes Brewery, and we're going to have their fresh squeezed IPA. They're out of Bend, Oregon. Stick around.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing, and sometimes we have a little fun doing it too. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I am Ben. Jumping right in tonight. What are we drinking?
Deschutes, the fresh squeezed IPA. So,
All right.
I think this is the first we've had from Deschutes.
It is.
Yep.
Because I had to do a lot of writing and reading. Crap. It needs to be the last. I don't appreciate that, Deschutes.
Mine had no problems, and mine has been more pressurized than yours.
This is true.
Crapola.
I'm pretty sure. I know the attic is high based on how many stories you have in that house, but it was not
as high as what Jay is.
Playing recently.
Boo.
All right. So,
do you need some time, Andy?
Yes, I do.
Stick around. We'll be right back after this break. And we are back. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Fresh squeezed India Pale Ale. To year round. I believe it's an American pale. Just a straight up Americano. It 6.4%, 60 IBUs. Notes of citrus and tropical fruit notes. I agree with that. Uses Citra hops and Mosaic hops. And 2-row malts, Munich malts, and crystal malts. Gotta get my schnoz in there. Deschutes Brewery, Bend, Oregon.
Won't like this.
Huh?
Ben won't like this.
Founded in 1988. It's a regional brewery. It was opened by a man named Gary Fish. He was a restaurant manager. His father worked with wineries in Napa and Sonoma regions of California. And his father said to him, it's like, well, let's try beer. Because they had tried craft in San Francisco, and they saw that craft was going to start going the way of fine wine. And so Gary Fish learned from a friend at a local brew pub. So he himself in 1988 opened his own brew pub. And that's how Deschutes started. In 2008, they opened a second pub in Portland. And in 2021, they opened an East Coast production facility in Roanoke, Virginia. Deschutes Brewery got its name from the Deschutes River there in Oregon. Runs through Bend. Deschutes literally means the falls. Franche. It was originally, so the river runs north into the Columbia River. The original name, the Native American name, was the Tewarnahooks. I'm guessing that is my best, of what they wrote. This river, Tewarnahooks, which we know today as Deschutes, was stumbled upon, discovered by Lewis and Clark. And of course, they renamed it Clark's River. Hey, I don't see anybody else here. This is my river.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
right.
Clark's River. It was also known as, this is me botching French, Rivière des Chutes, which means River of the Falls. So, and so today it's just known as Deschutes River. But Tawarnahooks was, I'm guessing that's the, but leave it to Lewis and Clark.
So Ben, you got this for us, right?
I did. Before we get there, though, 1 second.
It's like I don't see any signage. I can name my river.
That reminds me of the Eddie Izzard, the comedian. I don't know if you guys ever saw his special from 20 years ago, where he's like, the explorers land on a certain piece of new world, and they're like, but do you have a flag?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm claiming this for King so and so, and it's like they plant the flag, and the Native Americans are all looking around. They're going, but we live here. This is our place. They're like, but do you have a flag?
I claim India for Britain. And they go, you can't claim us. We live here. 500 million of us. Do you have a flag?
It's a great.
Maybe that's where Capture the Flag came from.
Maybe we'll put that. If I can find that, I'll put a link down to that bit down there below in the description. It's pretty hilarious. So yes, Jay, I did grab this one.
The multi-pack, right?
I don't know if I bought it. I don't think I bought it in a multi-pack. I think I just bought a bunch of Deschutes because we got it.
We have a lot of Deschutes. I was trying to find another beer for tonight. I was like, wait, this is another Deschutes? This is like, how many Deschutes we got?
I bought it because we don't often get new breweries here. And then when we do, if we get a bunch of beer, I go ahead and buy it because I don't know if we're going to still have it.
So you got this in Mississippi. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. I got this in Mississippi along with several others. And now it turns out, and I got this a little while ago, and it turns out we still we're still getting Deschutes. So, maybe
it says freshest within 4 months, and we're right at 5. So it's not. I don't think that's awful. What I was looking for on the can though was, since Andy had alluded to them doing a distribution out of Roanoke on the East Coast side, but there's nothing on here that would say that. It still has their born on in Oregon and still lists Bend, Oregon. So there's nothing that says that it came from Virginia, but you would assume, given that we're, on the East Coast side, that this would have come from there. I do love their logo though, with the pressed hop. So.
Yeah. And this is something too, like we're getting kegs of these beers as well. So to your point,
so it's got to be coming from Virginia then.
Yeah, it's more likely coming from a closer destination.
Yep.
So
Distribution.
Yep. All right. Well, per Hopped Up Beer Review tradition, if you've had this beer, you go last. I've had this beer a few times now, so I mean, if y'all want to paper right,
I swear I've had it, but I don't list it. I'll be happy to go first.
I will go first. I will do this. It's good beer. It definitely tastes more traditional American IPA with a little more of the tropical fruit that they said. A lot of citrus, but it is a little more tropical than your average American. But it doesn't taste West Coast. I mean, it's got a bitter, definitely lingering aftertaste on the back end. Nothing, in my opinion, negative about that. Not too sweet, so it's not that high of an IBU or an ABV. But it's good. It's better than an average American IPA. I don't know. I rate so many in this way, but that means I would drink it again. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. It's a good quality beer.
All right. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Andy. I don't know that I agree with the can telling me this is a perfectly crushable and balanced IPA. I'm not sure I'm going to be crushing a lot of these. Um, it does have that, and just most recently I've gotten it a little more of that dank bitterness on the back end.
I wouldn't say it's balanced. It's more bitter than in malt to me.
Yeah. Balanced is not the word I would look for there. I mean, crushable and balanced, no. It does say tropical fruit notes. To me, the first few sips, I was getting more, and I don't know, Andy, if you did, more of almost like an orange or a grapefruit peel, if you will, than anything else on the citrus side. Um, I mean, you're right. I think it suits the American IPA style. Um, it's not one that people that don't like bitter, I don't think they're going to like this. I think Ben is not going to like this. But I agree with you. I mean, that's just where I was sitting. This is a 7.5. It's a solid beer. I'm honestly surprised that I haven't had it before, but I'm glad that we got to share it.
All right, you are correct. This is not one that I necessarily enjoy. To me, it's the orange peel for sure, and really, that's the flavor that I kind of almost get throughout the sip of the beer. It's almost, it's not going to be the right word for it, but it's almost flat until I get the bitter, till it hits the back of my mouth, and it's just bitter at that point. I don't get a lot of the tropical or even the orange, citrus flavor out of it. I just get kind of a flat beer taste and then bitter. And for me, that's not what I really want in a beer, not being the IPA guy here on our show. So, uh, which is tough because you look at the can art and I think I'm getting a nice, nice citrusy IPA, and I don't get that. So,
I mean, they're squeezing a hop and not an orange or a citrus fruit.
It's gonna be bitter, Ben.
That's
it's
true.
Not,
I didn't look at it that way. I'm thinking about an orange.
You see fresh squeeze. Oh, yeah.
That's
it's
exactly.
Fresh squeeze tomato. Who
Yeah.
thinks you hear fresh squeeze, you think oranges. Yeah.
I mean, I could look at this logo and say, this is going to be a bitter beer.
That's a very fair point. I'm thinking fresh squeeze and I'm thinking orange all day. So, yeah, I didn't even put two and two together there. But anyway, yeah, this one's not for me because of the bitter. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's one of those beers, as I often say, at this point I've had it. I don't have to have it again. I'd be okay getting something else from Deschutes. And I've had a lot of their other beer that we're going to be, having here on the show in the future. And there's definitely other beer from that brewery that I would love to have coming up. So for me, this one it's a 5. I mean, it's okay, but I don't need it again. So, because I was expecting orange juice, apparently. That will be a 6.7 for this fresh squeezed IPA from Deschutes Brewery out of Bend, Oregon. We've got more Deschutes coming up, so you're definitely going to want to go ahead and like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell so you get notified of that in the future. But in the meantime, let us know down in the description if you've had this beer, what you think about it. If you want to check out any of our links below, we got social media sites. We've got a Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. We've got merch. That's right. You heard it here. We've got merch. Why we have merch, I don't know, but we've got
it's
merch.
Short for merchandise.
Yes. And then we have some links for some glassware that you can purchase that we sometimes show on the show here, like what Andy has, as well as some of the hardware software that we use to produce the show. So lots of really great information down in the description box. You're not going to want to miss that if you have not checked it out previously. With that, appreciate you checking out this video. We'll do this again soon. Come back. Randy and Attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Am I on screen, Ben?
For now.